Importing data directly into the TO Systems platform is by far the easiest and most efficient way to build your store's roster. Luckily, TO offers the ability to import entire teams and employees into your store from a simple CSV file. To import data directly into your store, go to the Import Data tab from your corporate store dashboard. Here, you can start by downloading the sample import CSV file, which contains the data format required for importing. CSV files can be easily viewed and edited in Microsoft Excel or Google Sheets. Let's start by going over this format and what each of the data fields mean. To start, each row represents a person, whether an employee or a manager, that you're adding to your store. Each column represents a field or setting for each of those members in your store. You can see here the role column tells you if the person is either a manager, TM, or an employee, EM. A manager represents the start of a group, and the employees added after that, but before the next manager, will be part of that manager's group. So in this example, we are importing two teams. The first team is here, and the second team is here. Now that we know how the CSV file is organized, let's go over each of the settings. As mentioned before, role is the type of group member you are adding, either a manager or an employee. Next, we have first and last name. It is important to make sure you have these fields separated, so first name and last name in separate columns instead of combining them to one. Next, we have employee number. This is not mandatory, but if you're utilizing employee numbers, you'd put that information here. Next up, we have email and phone number. TUO supports multiple emails per user, so if you want to add multiple email addresses to one person, you can do so by separating them with a comma like this. For the phone number, make sure you only enter the 10 digits of the phone number by itself without any dashes or spaces, because any extra formatting can cause errors. Next up is team name. While this is called a team in the import file, the name of the group is determined by what you set the group title to in your store settings. So this could either be a group, a division, a department, location, etc. This field is required for every member of your roster, and it is important that you enter the exact same team name for the manager and the employees that are a part of that team. The next field is print name. This field is optional and is only used by employees. Print name is the name that will be used if you have any name personalizations set up for products in your store. After print name, we have the balance field. This is an optional employee-only field that determines the starting allowance you want to give your employees to shop in your store with. Next up is mandatory product override. Any employee with this option enabled will be able to check out without ordering any mandatory products that you might have set up in your store. And finally, the catalog field. This is where you assign your catalog to your team. You only need to enter the catalog name at each manager row. If you have multiple catalogs set up in your store already, you can clarify which team goes with which catalog by putting the name of the catalog in this field. But just make sure that you have the catalog name entered exactly correct. Alternatively, if you don't want to assign a catalog during the import, you can do so afterwards. Once your CSV file is ready, make sure you save it, and make sure you save it as a CSV. If you are using Excel, you can select the file type here when you're saving the file. Now that we know how the CSV file is formatted and what each of the fields do, let's go over how to import it into TUO. From your corporate dashboard, first go to the Import Data tab like we did before. Now, select the CSV file you want to upload and click Upload File. Pretty simple, right? If the roster was formatted correctly, you will see the imported information at the top of your corporate dashboard. The final step is to review the information you imported and finalize the import. You can click Edit Information to view and modify the information you imported, or if you are confident all of your information is correct, you can click Accept All Valid Locations and Employees to go ahead and finalize the import and add those groups to your team. Now you can see the two teams we just imported are now active in our store. If you have any more questions regarding importing data into TUO, you can reference the other how-to videos on the Import Data page, or you can click the TUO Connect button to give us a call or schedule a one-on-one session with a TUO specialist.